Hi, let's revisit the charts of Chiliz, the US dollar chart, the chart in Bitcoin, and of course the Ethereum chart, which seems to consolidate right now. And this looks pretty interesting to me. In case you're not aware, Chiliz is part of the top 100 coins in terms of market cap. We are looking at market rank 63, a market dominance of approximately 1.0% with a market cap of almost 2 billion. Now there are several things that are interesting about Chiliz right now. First of all, it's this consolidation over here, right? So this looks like a quite nice risk versus reward to me. The intraday volatility on this chart is not too high either. So we can see the candles, they don't have too many wicks. So if we are looking at making a trade here, even for the short term, we can set a pretty tight stop loss around this level over here. So that means we are looking at a reward of maybe around 44% or so, a potential risk of around 4% only. And this is now on the relative Ethereum chart, right? What we are interested in is relative performance to Ethereum because cryptocurrencies, they are highly correlated. For the case of Chiliz, the correlation is still fine. It's not too high. We are looking at an average correlation to other altcoins of around 0.4%. The correlation of Chiliz to Bitcoin is 0.43. So correlation coefficients, they are between -1 and +1, right? And when it's +1, it means the assets, they completely move in tandem in the same direction every day. If the correlation coefficient is -1, it means that the assets always move in opposite directions. So 0.4 is not too bad. There's quite a bit of unique movement in Chiliz, and that's potentially an opportunity. Now still what I mean with correlation is we see a lot of altcoins, they move up since the 20th of July, right? And Chiliz is no different. We had our low point on the 20th of July and since then moved up around 60%. You can see the same thing in Bitcoin. Bitcoin had its low point on the 20th of July, going up since then 60%. And for Ethereum, it's no different. So there is this correlation, but the potential risk versus reward is pretty interesting here. What's also very interesting is that there's not a lot of attention on Chiliz at all right now. Because what you don't want is, you don't want to buy whenever trading volume is very high. If you look at this, you can see this in many charts. Chiliz is no different. When the trading volume is very high, attention tends to be high and the price seems to be high. So it's very dangerous to buy during times when attention suddenly shoots up, because that means the short-term rally over here, it can move to another coin. The short-term traders have maybe taken advantage of this news. And then once they sell off, the price tends to bleed, the attention drops. And so you don't want to be in that kind of situation. And this is very typical. You see this all the time when trading volume is high. You do see elevated prices and afterwards potential drops. If you time this wrong, you can lose 24% or even more than that. But what's interesting right now is that we are in the exact opposite in terms of trading volume. We are very, very low on trading volume. The price has stabilized and that's positive. You don't want to see low trading volume and the price still bleeding, because that means that the current holders of the coin, they are exiting, they're looking for new opportunities. But given that nobody is trading this right now and that the price doesn't fall any further, it very much looks like we have found a floor here. There's also news regarding Chiliz. Chiliz is launching more fan tokens. Namely, we got the Inter token recently, Inter Milan fan token. And we've also got a token of a Turkish football club, ticker symbol GAL. I'm not trying to attempt to pronounce this name. It's ticker symbol GAL. And what's interesting about those tokens, they've just recently launched. Here we've got Inter, here we've got GAL. What's interesting about those tokens is that they do get listed on FTX. So there seems to be some kind of cooperation going on. FTX is listing those tokens. And should you buy those now? I'm not sure. They're a bit too risky for my taste. But in the end, this is a fan token, right? This is not necessarily an investment. But it's nice to see that the Chiliz project is progressing, that there's no halt over here, that there's real development happening. If you're interested in the fan tokens, they are incredibly speculative. The market rank is very, very low. The trading volume is very, very low as well. And if you look at relative performance, so this is now the Inter token in an hourly chart, you see when it has been launched, there was quite a bit of trading volume. Since then, it has ebbed down. If we look at the relative performance of Inter to Ethereum, we do see some kind of outperformance in this very short period. The chart versus Chiliz doesn't look very different. And now looking at GAL, it looks like we had some kind of a hype. So this is now the US dollar chart, but versus Ethereum, we are underperforming. So you're taking on massive risk and don't get an outperformance, but this is incredibly short term, right? So who knows where this is going? These are really, really tight assets. Here's the relative performance of GAL to Inter. So GAL is underperforming. And to Chiliz, again, we see the spike here in the morning of September 16th. So for my personal risk tolerance, this is not necessarily something to invest in or to speculate on. But Chiliz as a whole looks interesting. The question really here is, if you're not losing against Ethereum and you are in this trading range since May of this year, so basically 4 months, then why keep all your money in Ethereum, right? It's exactly those moments where it makes sense to buy, where you're almost taking a contrarian view. You don't always want to jump on the hype train. It can work if you jump on it early enough, but the opposite approach is to simply buy when nobody is looking. And that's exactly the situation with Chiliz right now. Now that being said, I would definitely set that stop loss, because I do see once we fall below this, that a massive sell-off could very much occur. I think a lot of people have this on their radar and do the exact same trade. So always look at this relative valuation to ETH. If Ethereum stays stable at the current 3,400 mark, then it probably makes sense to set the stop loss somewhere around 30 cents or so. So simply adjust this. What you can alternatively do is simply use this chart. So the way to get such a relative performance chart in TradingView is you do the symbol search, you enter your ticker symbol, so say CHZ USD, and then you hit divide and you enter ETH USD. You press enter and then you get this chart. So this way you can get relative performances between any charts. And since you can't really set stop losses in any exchange for those relative charts, the way I do this is I set myself alerts. So this is the alert feature in TradingView. You click on that icon and you set the relative price to be less than a certain value. And in this case, that's maybe some level like this. And you can also set an expiration for this alert, maybe until end of the month. And then you can get an email sent. So whenever that event happens, you get an email and then you can manually sell. So you basically just have to watch your email inbox. You don't have to watch the chart all the time. If you found this video useful, please give this a like. YouTube will then help to grow the channel. And if you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe as well. I publish a video every single day. And since those videos are time sensitive, you might as well hit the notifications. A technical analysis that's 2 or 3 months old is maybe not as useful. Last but not least, we've got a nice community on Telegram. We're almost 700 people in the public chat. You can find that chat by searching for Bitcoin Strategy Channel within the Telegram app or by clicking the link in the video description. There's also a news channel. That's where you will find video announcements and the occasional message of where I currently see the market going. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.